Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you are fine. Okay, children. So, have you all watched the last two videos? Yes, children? Yes. So, in the last two videos, we have covered the topic land and soil. In the first video, we have covered the topic land, and the second video, we have covered the topic soil. So in this video we are going to see about water. We are going to see about water. So can you see what's the topic of this lesson? Chapter 2, land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. So we have completed land, soil. In this video we are going to see about water. Okay, children? So let's start this lesson. Okay. So water. So water, you cannot say like I don't know, right? Because it is very important and very useful in our daily life. So you all know more about water. Yes, children? Yes, from morning to night. Every day we are using water in many purposes, like for drinking, for washing, for cleaning, and for everything. Maximum we are using water in our daily life. Okay. So water. So now we are going to see about water, how much it covers, how much area it covers. Okay. So 3/4 of Earth's surface. Okay. If we divide our Earth into 4 parts, 3 part is covered with water. Okay, children. So 3 part is covered with water. Only 1 part is land. Okay, so 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with a vital renewable natural resource, that is water. 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water. Okay, children? Okay, so next, ocean covers. So now we are going to see about this 3 part. In that, how much is fresh water and how much is ocean, that we are going to see now. Okay, so ocean covers 2/3 of the Earth's surface. That means in that 3 part, 2 part is ocean. Okay, sea. So that part support a rich variety of plant and animal life. Okay, but that we cannot use, right? Humans we cannot consume that because that is very salty. You all know, right, children? That is very salty. Next, fresh water. So do you have any idea about fresh water? What is fresh water? The water we use for drinking, cooking purpose is called fresh water. Okay, that is like not salt water we can use, human can consume. Okay, so fresh water accounts for only 2.7 percentage. How many percentage, children? 2.7 percentage, and in that 70 percentage of these, that means 70 percentage of fresh water are like ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland and mountain region, and that are inaccessible because of their location. So here it's given like fresh water accounts for only 2.7 percentage. How many percentage? 2.7 percentage. In that 70 percentage or ice sheets, or like ice sheets, that I will show that picture. Okay, that are like ice sheets and like glaciers. Okay, so these are in Antarctica and Greenland, and some water, fresh water are in mountain region, and there we cannot go and get that. Okay, so how much percentage? 70 percentage of water is like that, and only 1% of fresh water is useful for human consumption. That means only 1% we can use, human can consume. That fresh water is available for us. Okay, children? So I told like ice sheets and glaciers, right? So look this picture. So this is ice sheets. So like this ice sheets. Okay, then this is glaciers. Okay, like ice mountain. Okay, children? So these we cannot consume immediately, right? Because they are frozen. If they melt, only we can use, right? Next, water cycle. So what is water cycle? Any idea, children? Water cycle. You have learned this topic in 7th grade. Water cycle. Yes, water can neither be added or subtracted from the earth and its total volume remains constant. That means water never increases or decreases. Okay, its level remains same every time because of the cycling process. What is the cycling process? That is the motion, constant motion cycling through the oceans, the air, land, and back again. That means, first what happens in the ocean? The sea water will evaporate. Okay, evaporation will happen, evaporate, and that reaches cloud. Yes, and after that, condensation happens. And after that, what happens? Rain. What is that rain? We say it precipitation. Then it comes to the land. Okay, then again what happened? That will run off and reach the ocean. And again what happened? Evaporation. Again to the cloud, then again rain, again run off, again to the ocean. So this cycle continues. So because of this, water remains constant. Okay, children. Next, look this. What is happening in this picture? First, it is evaporating, reaches the cloud, then condensation, precipitation, that is rain, and after that collection, that is runoff, then again evaporation, again condensation. The process continues. Okay, children. Next, problems of water availability. What are the problems we have in water availability? Okay, most of the world are facing shortages in the freshwater supply. Okay, most parts of the world, that means most places in the world are suffering shortage in the freshwater supply. Countries located in climatic zones, that means extreme climate like severe cold or severe hot, like that places suffer droughts. Okay, droughts because of unavailability of water. Okay, extreme climatic zones. Next, water shortage may be a consequence of variation in seasonal or annual precipitation, or the scarcity is caused by over-exploitation and contamination of water sources. That means this water shortage may be according to the season, it may vary. Some season, the more rain, precipitation will be more, and what will happen? Precipitation is more means we'll get more water, and sometimes there will be less precipitation and we'll get only less water. Okay, children. And another is over exploitation. That means overusing the water. Okay, overuse of that resource makes this resource little reduce. Okay, the next, contamination of water resources. Then contamination means polluting the water resources, making that water resources unfit for using. Okay, so these are the some problems that we have in water availability. Then see, look at the problems. These are some pictures, so showing the water problems. So first see, water is dried up and the place is like totally like desert. And second, a lady cannot get water and she is digging and getting some water in that pot. Okay, the next. Third, there's no water and the place is very rough and the person is searching water in that place. And fourth, last. So last, what is happening? That area is fully polluted. Contamination of water. Okay, children. Next, conservation of water resources. Now we are going to see about conservation of water resources. How we can conserve, how we can save this water resource, because water is very valuable resource and it is very important in our life. So how we can conserve? So first, some steps we can take to control the water resources gets damaged, okay, or gets contaminated. We can control some measures. Okay, so first, forest and other vegetation cover slow the surface runoff and replenish underground water. That means forest and other vegetation cover that helps the surface runoff. Okay, so what it will not allow the water to run off. It helps the water to get into the underground. Okay, so the underground water will increase. So the first one is we have to grow more trees, and we have to save the forest, and we also start more vegetation cover. So that helps in increasing underground water. So that is the first point. Okay, second, water harvesting is another method to save the surface runoff. What is water harvesting? So water harvesting means we have to save water. Okay, look at this picture. What is happening? The upper flow of rainwater that is collected through a tube pipe, and that is saved in tank, and after that is used. Yes, so this is known as water harvesting. We are saving rainwater and we are using that. Okay, children. So next, the canals used for irrigating field should be properly lined to minimize losses by water seepage. So water seepage, what is water seepage? Like leakage of water. That the canal is there, right? On the side, what will happen? This water will leak or evaporate, or some water loss will happen. So properly that places have to be lined. The border have to be lined so that water is not leaked or not wasted. Okay. Next, sprinklers. So sprinklers is effectively irrigate the area by checking water losses through seepage and evaporation, because if we use canals, there is a chance for water seepage, that means water leak, or evaporation, water will evaporate because of the heat. But sprinklers, we can save water using tank, and after that we can use sprinklers like this. Have you seen like the sprinklers? So that this sprinklers that is very useful for irrigation purpose, so it minimizes the water loss also. Next, in dry regions with high rate of evaporation, okay, in some regions there are like high rate of evaporation. If water is there also, it will evaporate soon. So in that area, drip or trickle irrigation is very useful. What irrigation ma? Drip or trickle irrigation. Okay, so drip irrigation means sometimes that is called trickle irrigation, that I told you. So that involves dripping water onto the soil at very low rates. Look this picture. At very low rates they used to drip water using this pipe, small diameter plastic pipes. Okay, through that only 2 to 20 liters per hour, like that, slow and very low rate only. What will happen? Water is dripped there. So look this picture. So like this, using small pipes. In close view you can see, right? So this is known as drip or trickle irrigation. So are you all clear? So first, what we have seen what is water. You all know, right? About water. We have seen about water, how much area it covers. Then what are the problems we have? Water cycle, and last about conservation. So these we have seen. Yes. So that's all the water topic we have covered, and we have left natural vegetation and wildlife resources, that we will see in the next video. Okay, children. So thank you for listening very patiently, and I hope you all understood. Okay, children. So we will meet in the next video. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.